to see them bringing in?
It's definitely an old school run at U strat to some degree, though I think it's a lot harder in this current meta. I think Chicken Fighter's lineup is a lot more well-rounded and robust. So if anything goes weird in this game or it's a static state at 20 or something, they're probably pretty favored. But they do have this Chen versus Beast matchup, which can snowball super fast. And this Furion last pick did a lot to salvage their lineup in terms of it gives them a hero that can gap close on the other lanes and collapse on these towers, which is exactly what Chen and Spearbreaker are really good at. So if this Drow and Lina can start to snowball their lanes versus the Invoker and the Beast, and this Furion and Breaker can collapse on them, take the early tier 1s, open up the map, could just become a nightmare to play. So it's a question of, can Chicken Fighters hold the line in the early game and get out of the lanes in a decent position, or is CHILLAX just going to be able to run them over with the early profit, tempo, and aggression?
I would say, in comparison to game 1, at least this time around, when you look at the drafts, you don't necessarily see like a certain hero or a pick that's going to be, in particular, extremely hard to deal with, like we had in game 1 with the Bat.
Yeah, maybe for me, it's a combination of things. Like, this Beast can just destroy this game if the Chen doesn't check him. I think it's a really good Beast game outside of that Chen interaction. And I think kind of the same is true for Invoker. This Invoker, there's no gap close mechanism. There's no real good way to interact with the crosswalk spells this game in terms of Breaker gets destroyed by Tornado. Chen hates trying to push into these EMP, AoE spells. So Furion kind of has to get on top of this guy and debilitate him a little bit in order for them to fight. But at the same time, does Chicken Fighters have great close mechanisms for a Drow with a bunch of heals behind him, or Lina? Drow, Lina, Furion, 3 ranged cores that all benefit from the Agi aura. They're going to hit really hard, they're going to hit really fast, and they're hitting you from a long way away. It's just a question of, can you get on top of them?
So down bottom, Aqua. Going for a bit of damage onto Mastery, but he's going to take probably quite a bit on the way back out here. Some very nice body blocks with the Treants. And some very, very nice body blocks with the Treants, hitting nearly enough to take Aqua down, as Aqua falls very, very low there. That was a nice attempt at a turnaround. Just goes to show you've got to be careful playing aggressive with that level 1 Blade Furious. You've got to have a way to get back out after you've got in.
That's why you pay for the bash, right?
Well, I guess he didn't, yeah.
Maybe he doesn't know. Should tell him.
Yeah, that was quite a few hits, wasn't it? He did not get lucky on, unfortunately, MNT there. One would have done it.
People definitely underestimate these types of mechanics on lanes in general. In terms of body blocks or just being able to run people down. Like, you'd be surprised how much damage you can get on people just because they overextend for a range creep or something like this. And instead of trying to play this CS dance, you just go on them. Just start right-clicking them. Prophet's one of the best at this, right?
Yeah. I'm going to see them make a go onto Mastery. They've hit the level 2s and immediately make moves onto him. But I'll turn their attention over towards MNT instead. Not quite having enough damage here between the two of them to fully threaten MNT or Mastery.
Yeah, they hit a nice level 2 first, so they're trying to abuse it, go on them before this Treant damage can start to add up. But just couldn't convert it on either of the kills. He got the bash there, so I guess it pays off in the end. Meanwhile, Beast did give this Chen the boar on the lane, which I feel like you shouldn't do, just because there's no reason to do it, right?
Sure, you wouldn't want to see it skilled, or you'd still skill it, but you wouldn't use it.
Yeah, if you want to skill it, just don't use it. Maybe you play with some Hawks, or use the boar to block some camps or stack your jungle, something like this, right? You can use them for a lot. You can even send them mid and deny a water room. Some creative stuff like this. I just wouldn't summon the boar and then immediately just give it to him to take, because it's the best unit he wants to take here. In terms of the damage, the slow, it's just a little stronger than a range creep that he can take, which would be his alternative. So in general, you just play with the axes. You can even go in early aura, just right-click them on the side.
See that I'm trying to get aggressive. And in fact, Jibe and Era are able to turn on to Pleb and Pleb. Again, backing off. Both teams here really trying for a kill. But, Pleb not quite able to get an angle to shoot them down.
This Beast did get to his Helm of Iron Will, though, so he's pretty happy with this general exchange. The lane's pretty far up. He has his Helm. The Chen didn't get... I guess he got the 1 steal, but then he chose not to summon anymore. So overall, he's going to be pretty happy if the lane stays in this area. If they pull the lane back, that's where you can start to run this hero down. And it's also this Chen level 3. That's his strongest early game timing, right? If he can get the small camp unblocked, if he can get some ghost creep or even level 2 range creeps, you can play it 2 ways. You can try and go on him and kill him, You can also just sit there and deny everything versus him with the extra range creep damage. That's stuff you know players like Owie like to do.
Yeah.
Just sit there and be annoying. Like, go away. You know, try and kill me or go away.
Up top, back in this area, and Jibbe. It's low, but as you say, just feeling pretty safe with the help there. Well, they are positioning themselves well. They're Pleb constantly making sure that he's able to trade into Jibbe when he steps up. They're also keeping the attention of Lodin away from the creep wave. At the moment, both carries finding a very similar amount out the lane here. 17 for 4, 16 for 5 on the Jug and the Drought. Close times. Mid lanes, relatively even. A little higher on the denies, actually, from the Lina. That's quite a bit higher. Let's see if they can do anything with an extra bit of an appearance mid, but Branya, he's prepared. Gets himself right back to the tier 2, and there won't be any action to find here.
I think they can be playing bottom a bit more aggressively from Dire in terms of threatening this Grimstroke. I think he dies really easy on the side when he's up this far. In terms of you just put the treants on him, the breaker charges from behind, something like this. Like they've had pretty good equilibrium down here for a good portion of the lane. I would have liked to have seen them use it a bit more. But they're going to get kills.
Ooh, alrighty. Nice little Ghost Walkers, Branya.
That's why you need Dust versus Hero. It's one of the biggest things.
Dust would have done it. It would have done it. Yeah, that hit would have hit.
And ideally, you want to pre-buy the Dust for this type of example, because by the time you do this, and then you go, oh, should have had the Dust. That's the kill you needed the Dust for. So,
I mean, they're going to come back in on it, and they'll end up getting it. Hey, who needs Dust? Who needs Dust when Branya's going to show himself in the lane as low as he was? Tips coming out after that one between the two teams, and MNT will look for the quick trip back to base underneath the tier 2. Baranya, I guess, just wasn't ready for MNT to stick around and look for another charge. So sort of 3 times he went in on the mid, it pays off. They get the kill.
Yeah, it's a pretty big kill because they devoted a huge amount of resources to that, right? Yeah. It's a lot of time this breaker's off the lane. It's a lot of spell usage. It also means he gets the bottle refill for this Lina, which is super big. At the same time, at the 6-minute rune, which gets denied top. A little bit unfortunate, but these types of kills, I mean, Lina's almost 1,000 ahead of Invoker. This is the type of scenario you want to set up, so later on this Prophet, when he comes in and he can make these collapse rotations, they really do some serious damage.
Oh, you hate to see it. Now bash from the Roche.
Yeah, that happens to me every time, so.
And, I mean, look how low they are in this top lane. If MNT was able to make his way up there, it would almost certainly be a kill. Era tries to stand his ground. He can't run from that. As CHILLAX, I mean, this game, 6 minutes in, 2K lead. You look at their lineup, and they do have that need to ramp it up pretty early. And so far, so good. They seem to be hitting the timers out at the laning stage that could gear up for exactly what this sort of lineup of heroes needs to achieve.
Yeah, it's honestly looking really good for them. This Prophet's getting solo XP, which is amazing for him, because you just want this hero to get to his level 6 and 7 as fast as possible, get the early treant strength up, get that ult up so you can make the moves. And also this Chen's levels are super important. This is not a hero that you can be level starved on. He really wants a fast level 5 so you can start to get the large creeps in the jungle, and then your move options open up by a large amount, right? He doesn't want to just sit top here for the entire game in terms of abusing this beast with small creeps and limiting his CS a little, because he'll still interact with him later on. I think ideally there's going to be some mid-clash in this game that will decide a lot of the tempo, and right now CHILLAX is gearing up pretty decently for that.
There we go, charge from MNT over onto Jibbe. Immediate TP reaction though comes in from Branya, and MNT
got the Invoker TP though.
I did, and they're able to back off as Branya's not quite able to get a catch. And look at this, mid lane opens up, Mastery immediately there, getting some good damage done onto the tier 1.
Yeah, this is really nice. I guess he's just too afraid to stay bottom versus the Jug ult 1v2, but anytime you can get free tower damage mid, it's pretty nice. This Invoker has no TP now, so if they make the mid move, there's some extra value there in terms of if he dies again, his game gets super slowed down. He's also looking for these earn charges, right? It's something people should consider about this Invoker hero, whereas if you don't give him these early kills, if he doesn't get these turnarounds like we saw top, where they're very patient with that, not giving him this early earn charge debilitates his options by a huge extent, because he just can't aggressively go on people without the cold snap proc.
On top, we've got another charge coming in from MNT. He's going to keep it going over towards Zera. Might be in trouble here, Branya. He's got the control with the Tornado and the EMP. He's enough damage. Cookie forward onto him, but he's not quite able to close the gap as MNT walks off. And once more, CHILLAX able to really waste some of the resources of Chicken Fighters on this top lane as Branya's just not finding the action that he so desperately is after.
Yep, and still no earn charge. This Lena's level 9, Invoker's level 7. He's wasted 2 moves top. Pretty good reactions forced out. I think now is the time to think about making an aggressive move that is going to result in this collapse that we're talking about in terms of speeding the game up. Because this Chen really wants to use his strength. He's almost level 6, and he's feeling pretty good.
I'll see them clearing up a stack here as Chicken Fighters, they've got to reassess how they are going to deal with this early power that CHILLAX is going to be hitting them with pretty shortly. I've got to be ready for these early objectives that CHILLAX are likely to hunt down with the start that they've managed to achieve so far. Mech nearly done from Lodine to add to this 5-man push they'll have.
Yeah, he already has Hand of God up. Super early Hand of God. So it's really hard for Chicken Fighters to make moves, but they're also not the lineup that feels super pressured to have to do that, right? They're okay farming and getting their item ups and just holding the lanes together. And if stuff like that happens, they're super happy.
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, MTD, he was top of the board. That's all of their game, and Chicken Fighters, they find him as a freebie in the river.
Really nice move from Aqua there. Just contesting his 10-minute power rune. There's an assumption someone's going to contest it, right? They get the best target out of it, translate it into a tower push. Now you force this Chen to TP into you. Yeah,
he's TP right on the front. He's got his creeps with him, and Chicken Fighters will respect that, especially with Pleb turning up on the mid as well. Chicken Fighters immediately out of there as CHILLAX start to turn up in their numbers to hold the tier 1.
The name of the game is just get trades on the map or force the issue if you can in Chicken Fighters.
Look at this setup. Cookie into the Raw, the kisses as well. He's out of the game as quickly as he's back into it. And there's the magical number as well on the gold bounty for those that did spot that.
Yeah, a little coincidence, but a pretty aggressive TP. It's hard for Lena to hold up here unless she's really disciplined about it.
Scary place for them to be. Mid lane, attempt's going to be made onto Branya, but he's already out with the Ghost Ward. They've got the dust, but it's under the tier 2 MNTs. He's dove pretty deep for this one. Is he able to make his way out of there? Cookie again with the setup. He's pretty speedy, but the Pexu is going to be on his way to chase him down with the Ink Swell. Mekil comes out from Lodine, and that'll be enough to keep MNT alive. Now MNT's ready to try and turn with the ultimate on to Pexu. Branya watching for the high ground. What's he got to offer? Tornado and EMP will come into play. We'll see now the attempted escape. MTD trying to step up to the high ground to take down Aaron with the Laguna Blade. He'll certainly be able to do so. Era goes down. Aqua chasing down Lodine to the side with the Blade Fury. He'll get the kill. Taking heavy hits though from Pleb and MTD. He's going to die for that. As Aqua getting a little too aggressive, and CHILLAX knows, starting to fire the tips straight out to him as he dives for the chain kill, and it cost him his life.
He got evaporated on that back end. The Drow procs, overextension on this Chen for sure. But again, what happened in this last 2 minutes, CHILLAX got the tier 1 bottom and the tier 1 mid. And all of a sudden, this map just opens up for a trade top. So we're going to see what they can make of it. But yeah, this Drow and Lina will hit very hard this game. You need to think about how deep you're going in terms of giving their backline the type of fight they want, right?
This is not one of those games where you can really rely on Blade Fury to keep you safe. You're going to be very vulnerable to...
last game was all spell damage.
Yeah, you spin in and you feel invincible.
Yeah. This game, it's all physical with a Spirit Breaker, BKB Pierce, right? A bit of a different story.
Yeah, it's not going to be the easy game that Aqua had in game 1. Let's see. Another fight kicks off here. They'll start the action onto Lodine. Pexu will get burnt, though, by the Dragon Slave.
A lot of heroes in this top area fighting for not a lot of creep camps, in a way. And so we see this Furion go bottom. And this is the type of game that CHILLAX can also benefit from. Because whenever Chicken Fighters group, they have the heroes that can easily go to the other side of the map and start cleaning up the farm, right? We see them drawing on these jungle areas. Furion's one of the best heroes. I mean, people think about it in terms of this split push Dota. But what it manifests itself in today's meta is in terms of if you force reactions, this hero is the fastest at capitalizing on those reactions if the enemy team does indeed mess up or they overcompensate for a kill, right? Like, was all 5 Chicken Fighters necessary for this 1 kill up top? Probably not. Maybe they thought there was going to be a fight. But either way, Furion gets to extend his gold lead. Lina with bots gets to extend the gold lead. So their heroes are just a bit more mobile, and they get to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Which, it can make up for some of the slower pace nature of a Chen Drow, something like this, right? But they still have to hit a timing with this. The game is pretty close, so it's a question of can they snowball us into the next objective, which is probably some fight for, you know, aiming at a 20-minute Roche, something around that.
Both teams can take down Roshan pretty easily as well, so
Yeah.
could he very, very likely fall into one of their hands off of the back of a solid team fight.
He also decided to go Midas on Invoker instead of finishing Vessel, which normally you would try and get this Vessel versus Chen just because it negates so much of his heal early on, but maybe he felt like he wasn't getting the charges, or he just wants to scale in this game because they feel like they're on a decent footing.
Sierra was positioned pretty deeply in the trees. They've got the frost arrows coming in onto him. Era is trying to get out of this one, but there's no chance at all as Era will fall. CHILLAX, the full 5 of them around the mid, unlikely to be getting anything else out of this. Aqua's been keeping himself distant, has finished the Battle Fury, so his farm is now starting to, is going to start to pick up quite a bit.
This is a pretty big Orchid timing though, right? This Jug is not going to have a Dispel for a super long time in terms of getting that mana, and neither is Invoker for a vast majority of this game. So this Orchid is kind of king of the map right now. He can pretty much port on anything because he has the Breaker to connect, he has Alina bots to follow up on top of that. His whole team can get there with a Drow TP. So they really need to get a lot done with this, try and get aggressive wards, control the jungle areas. Like even this Beast farming on top of your own jungle top, they see him on this ward, it's a really easy kill. You just TP the Breaker, he gets charged into an Orchid. We'll see how fast if they want to respond to something like this, but these are the type of kills I think they should be aiming for right now and try and extend this gold lead during the period when this item is king of the map.
Looks like they're going to just opt to try and brute force the tier 2 bottom. Is this something you just let go, do you think, if you're Chicken Fighters right now? Do you put any effort into defending this?
I think this is a fight you can defend when you see them all hitting it like this. I mean, this to me is crazy. They're actually just clumping.
They just have 4 heroes standing on top of each other.
Imagine a tornado EMP here.
Yeah.
So this is some confidence. They see him top, you know, to some degree, so they have the confidence to do this.
Yep.
But that's also one of those plays. CHILLAX lineup just pushes so fast. If you want to defend towers like that, you need to preemptively read the move and smoke there.
Sure, you got to be ready. You have to already talked about what do we do if they do this before they've done it.
You can't just, once you see them hitting it, it's almost too late. You have to be there ahead of time. And it's the same the other way around, right? This Beast Jug pushes pretty fast. I mean, this tower top is already dead. By the time Chen TP's in, are you set up to take this fight? Now you're just TPing in for what reason, right? I mean, yeah, this looks like a bit of an awkward attempt at a defense here. The tower's already gone down. MNC, he'll be roared to get the bulldoze off. That should be enough to save him. Looks like it is. So MNC's able to walk away. Nobody to be lost on CHILLAX. In fact, CHILLAX, they're thinking about getting back in. MNC charging over to Pexu. Pexu turns with the silence. The soul by now onto the turn of the kisses. Coming out here. They're in with the cold snap onto the both of them. Omni/forward as Aqua takes out MTD. Now he's ready to try and move for more. MNC's in with the ult over towards Jibe. Gets shot down by the scatter blast. Jibe will live as he walks out on minimal HP. So it'll be 2 dead on CHILLAX. And it really did end up just a very sort of awkward situation. You know, CHILLAX, they do try and take the fight. The tower's already gone down. And there just really wasn't a fight to be had from them there, as it seems, running into the 5-man Chicken Fighters. Yeah, I'm not sure if the Hand of God hit before they died in the Omnislash or not, but either way, Lina getting linked there is pretty bad for their team fight. But they get the turnaround.
They do. They get Baran, yep. And they'll certainly get Pexu as well, the Hoostomp. So at the end of the day, I guess CHILLAX at least able to equalize it there, get themselves 2 kills. As this time around, it's Chicken Fighters to stick around a little too long for their own good. Maybe even more. And MNC is able to lock down in onto the Snapfire. With that Orchid damage, this will certainly be another error to fall. And just like that, it actually ends up swinging back in favor of CHILLAX, that whole sort of series of events there. As Chicken Fighters, they may have got 2 kills, but they stick around too long. They lose 3 heroes themselves. And now because Chicken Fighters stuck around and ended up losing those lives, they're going to lose Roshan as well by the looks of it to CHILLAX.
Yeah, this thing dies super quick. Just overextension. They had the confidence because their Observer Ward stayed up there long, but CHILLAX actually had one farther in the back, so they're able to re-engage and take that fight. And this was something where we thought the other team was going to just go in the Roche pit with the Beast Aura, right? But instead it swings the other way. Huge swing in this game.
Yeah. I mean, this year, it's sort of CHILLAX back on track with the timings and the lead that they want to be playing with when they run this Drow, Chen, Nature's Prophet lineup.
Yeah, they're a little bit back on track. I think they did lose a decent amount in that fight. I still wouldn't say it's like a negligible loss for them because I think they're the team that wants to be pulling ahead in this time period. But it does put them on a decent pace. They can use this Aegis to gain a lot right now because this Drow is very strong. This hero will hit pretty hard if she doesn't get gap closed, right? And like we said, there's not a huge amount of natural gap close mechanisms.
Nera shows himself here, trying to take back the outpost. Cost him his life. And he tries to turn with the Tornado, but not able to clip anyone.
I mean, they might even just be able to force a high ground in this game. There's not a huge amount of outspam coming from Chicken Fighters, and this Prophet can keep the map controlled. So it's something where you can go bottom, force a bunch of TPs back even. It's not like you have to commit for the tower and just regain all of the control, right? Because this Chen, it's pretty hard to burst heroes through the Chen heals and the Aegis and this Ice Armor. Something else that we didn't talk about, but this Ice Armor can do a lot this game in terms of reducing the physical output. Because Chicken Fighters are also pretty much all in on this physical damage in this game, outside of if this snap can land a big ult.
We'll see what Chicken Fighters' plan is next. I mean, Aqua still at the top of the farm here.
Sea Drow and a Hawk.
And Pleb. He's going to try and Manta dodge his way out of this one. Oh, good light strike array and a turnaround, but the Laguna comes into play.
Gust.
Big charge out and 3 of them. Aqua goes down. They've only lost the Aegis so far, and CHILLAX. Piranha also going to be shot down here by Mastery and Pleb. Triple kill for the Nature's Prophet as Chicken Fighters, they're just sort of having back-to-back now, just sort of misplacing. They're getting caught out. I mean, for all the coordination we sort of had them wrap up the first game with, it seems like they've been shaken up pretty heavily here in game 2, and CHILLAX, they're starting to roll over them.
I mean, this might just be a Rax with the amount of physical that comes out and the amount they committed to that fight in terms of Omni Slash and Link, and now Snapple just to defend this. I guess it might be a little hard to siege, but we'll see what happens here. They're pretty tanky.
Yeah, they're pretty buffed up.
They got up.
BKB done on Mastery thanks to those 3 kills.
They're gonna just play the map, show some sympathy here. But again, that was just an overcommittal on the Aegis, right? And we talked about last game, and it reminds me of that fight where they went on Jug with the Aegis. This Drow with the Aegis is just not the best target to go on. They saw her on this Hawk, which was really nice, and they probably felt like she was split. But this CHILLAX team can collapse really fast, and unless you get unless you just get a cheap burst, it's not that reliable to be able to get back out again with the Spear Breaker charge and the Fury on TPN.
Pexu lucky to get away with his life there. Now one more proc from the Drow might have pushed him over the edge.
MTD did have a super nice LSA though from the Fog, which caught the Jug off guard, because if he gets spin off there, the fight might look a little different. They can reset. But he gets that stun on the Jug and then 4-man Gust. You don't see one of those every day.
No. That was lined up lovely, sort of between the trees there.
Probably prefer a 4-man Black Hole, but
sure,
that's gotta be in the top 3,
quite as hype, but still going to feel pretty good. I mean, Gust, it's a pretty crazy duration of a silence, isn't it? What, he's got level 3 at the moment, so 5 seconds of silence. That's 5 seconds is a very long time in Dota 2.
Oh yeah, silence is underrated. People should remember how annoying Death Prophet was in her meta before her silence was
how
changed.
long was it? Like 9 seconds silence? Something stupid?
I don't know if it was 9, maybe 6 or 7.
Okay.
9 sounds a little long.
It was long.
But just that silence being insta-cast changed to a projectile.
Yes.
All of a sudden, the whole hero is different, right?
Yeah.
So.
Well, CHILLAX back in position to start knocking at the doors again of Chicken Fighters.
This Invoker feels like he has to go drum. 3rd item drum in this game. He's just getting pressured. He wants some more early damage for his Jug with the Alacrity buff. But it's definitely hurting his itemization. He has a lot of net worth for the team, and it's not doing a huge amount at this point, right? He's basically an earn charge and a drum charge for 9,000 net worth. This is a really nice timing for CHILLAX if they can use it. I think they're almost stronger than they think they are in a way.
Well, you feel that they're being a little too careful. Like you think they can absolutely get away with starting to chip away at the tier 3s?
Yeah, I mean they've chipped them a bit. I think it's not that efficient, and it feels kind of bad to do it. Which I think it's not like you want to just commit 5 heroes to go high ground necessarily into Invoker spells and Grim spells and whatever. But I think you want to use it to force them back and then find the pick on the other side of the map, right? think that's the best plan. And then once you get that 1 or 2 kills, then you're already set up to just transition to that high ground super fast.
Yeah, I mean, as we've been pointing out, you know, they have so many great ways to move across the map. They have absolutely got the tools to sort of look for those global plays between the push and the pickoff.
I mean, they can also do something where they try and smoke and kill whoever shows mid while this Prophet shoves in bottom, right? That's another type of play you can do. Because this Invoker showing mid like this, it is pretty far up. But at the same time, their lineup doesn't have the easiest way to just jump and go on a guy. There's no blink stun, or you have to kind of charge through these Invoker spells, which can be really annoying. So they might just be having issues finding the type of engagement they might right now. They also might just be perfectly happy farming it up because they feel like they're going to outscale them, which, if you continue to build a net worth lead, will be true. But you just can't throw it back, right?
No, yeah, and the question is going to come, you know, how many sort of bad pushes up to the high ground will sort of cost them that lead. Probably what's playing on their minds right now as they do continue to play careful, and as you say, just keep all 3 cores very nicely farmed here. They know that Baranya is still struggling to catch up. And the same to be said as probably look over towards the farm that's been accumulated so far in the Beastmaster. And they're going to know that they have this edge right now, CHILLAX.
The one question with Chen lineups is always, though, do you have the damage to fight through his sustain? Because right now he's giving mech core, he's giving the mech, he's giving the Hand of God, and he got this shard for Golem creep. That's an extra HP boost. Where's the damage from Radiant coming from in these fights?
We're going to have some action starting here. Jibbe is going to be the one to be focused first. The turnaround with the Soul Bind and the silence is there, but there's nothing to follow it up as CHILLAX are more than happy to continue pummeling away at Jibbe. Jibbe goes down.
Stolen Golem. Now he has a regular big Golem and a super big Golem, or whatever the proper term for that is.
Yeah, he's a big boy there, 2600 HP. Once he's got him all healed up. It's going to be rather terrifying.
I guess he's the Alpha Golem.
I guess so, yeah. The Sigma is the big boy.
It is something you have to think about with this beast. Because you give these creeps to Chen, he gets to keep them forever. You can just keep giving more and more to him. It's kind of the
I mean, they've got quite the army
alpha
here.
creep engine, you know?
And with these golems and treants and illusions as well. It's a lot of things to throw at the objectives.
I mean, it adds up, right? Because a lot of their damage is theoretically from this Jug in terms of Omni Slash. You're hitting a Golem for half of that. Or an Alpha Golem for half of that.
I guess at least it's got the Battle Furious. There's a bit of cleave going on, but you know, overall, yeah, the main hits are very likely to be tanked by pretty much anything other than a hero.
Yeah, I don't see Omni Slash getting through to the main hero a lot in this game. Even some Drow Manta illusions or some Treant Fury, like Fury on Treant, something like this. There's just way too much garbage in the fight, right? Just mucked up.
This is where you have to big brain it and you start stacking up the Battle Furies. You know, that increased percentage of cleave added, you know, additively stacking. It's beautiful when you have this many things you're bouncing around, because then you don't want to be hitting the main hero.
How many Battle Furies do you think is optimal?
Well, how much percentage is Battle Fury? Is 35% or something?
Do they even stack normally? I feel like it doesn't even stack.
Dude, it's 70% of attack damage physical damage. You get 2 Battle Furies, you're doing 140% of your right click to the things that are near the things you're hitting. It's actually legit. Dude. 2 Battle. If he buys a second, let's go.
Let's go.
It stacks additively.
Does it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know enough about Battle Fury stacking to say whether that's right or wrong, but it could be the strategy. That's also one way to take the fight. Find a target on the backline and burst him.
Pexu. He's going to get caught in the river in return. See if they want to do anything when they don't have their Lina. So the slash coming out from Aqua is in onto loading. That's looking like a pretty dead Chen. Hand of God does come out, but loading will still fall. Omni Slash coming in straight on a Pleb, as Pleb fully focused down by Aqua. 3 down to CHILLAX. Pleb is actually going to buy back on the Drow to try and get back in on this. They're teeping over towards the outpost. The Golem step forward with the cookie. MT trying to run away in the river. He's going to have the movement speed to get out of there.
Prophet TP'd super far behind.
I was able to kill a Pexu.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a really good wrap from Chicken Fighters, right? You find the Lina all the way at the top at the start. She's insta-dead, does nothing. You get the wrap on the Chen. Being able to kill Chen first is always one of the best targets because you're eliminating that heal, those buffs.
Actually, they need to get the Roche now, though.
Yes.
They got the DD. Pleb bought back during that fight, so the Aegis...
Yeah, they need the Aegis
crucial for this Drow. And Chicken Fighters know that. They're going to be ready to try and put a stop to this. 5 seconds. And Branya's going to be back in the game. Oh, stop. Into the charge. Can they fully lock down Aqua? It's a lot of damage. Aqua's still able to get out. Cookie from Era gets him out to safety with the Blade Fury. Era steps away.
Stole the Alpha Golem back as well, which got stolen last fight. So
back in the hands of Lodine and CHILLAX. They will manage to get this Aegis onto Pleb. There's a little bit of a spooky moment where he comes in with the buyback, but it pays off for now. Roshan secured. They have their Aegis.
Yeah, probably just too hard to contest again into all these auras without Omni Slash or your Snap Ult. I think Snap Ult's one of the best spells to contest in these Roche Pit fights, because one, it's just giving you vision of the whole area, and it's obviously a huge amount of AoE damage, right? So when they're missing those two, it's probably pretty hard. They do have this Ags on Invoker now, though, in terms of Cataclysm. So we're talking about where's the damage going to come from? If you get this Blink Beast to find one of these ranged cores with a Roar into the Cata, that's one way to deal with it.
Yeah, damage will certainly be done. Aqua quickly able to remove the silence. He's going to jump in with Raw into the back lines, but the force is there to separate the leader from the front of the fight, so there's no way to get to MTD. They'll come in with the Cataclysm, but it's a little underwhelming. No one really getting hit at all. I think Pleb just took a bit of a tickle, but everybody else able to avoid that completely. CHILLAX, they're going to get back on with the push. Pleb's feeling strong with the Aegis. I'll take the tier 3, see if they're going to be ready to take the racks, and see if Chicken Fighters can stop this. It's Pleb.
They have Omni back up and Snap Ult, so maybe you can make something happen here, but this Aegis is really hard to burn for them. They just don't have an easy way to get rid of this item on the Drow, who's just going to take their buildings.
Really going to start things off with a very quick first kill onto the Drow.
They made it look way easier than I said.
That was fast. Can they do it a second time? That's the question. Aqua's going to come in with the Swiss Slash into the Omni Slash. It's a good one as well. Bounces around. MT's going to be taken down. Pleb, he's going to go for the TP out. Is he going to be able to get out? He is not. Pleb goes down. Chicken Fighters, a successful defense. There's no Drow for 90 seconds. They keep the base defended. And these are the sort of failed pushes that CHILLAX were visibly very concerned about having, with their hesitation early on trying to approach the high ground. You know, a few more of these and the whole sort of flow that their draft wants to be making, it's going to be shaken up completely.
Yeah, this is not where you want to be throwing into these high ground pushes, because it can backfire super fast.
Yeah.
I think they had to be a little bit more disciplined there about how they're sieging, how low this Drow is, and also the item casting. This Nature's Prophet went for a Lotus Orb, which is really going to hurt his scale in this game, but it is a very powerful item in terms of affecting the Invoker spells and the Omni Slash in particular, right? When you're sieging, I think they could have been a bit more communicative about making sure this Omni doesn't just have a free go, because this Lotus really could have turned a lot of that fight damage.
Yeah, Aqua was able to do a whole lot there with the Swift Slash and Omni Slash.
And now we're seeing the other team go high ground, right?
I mean, and the speed that they take the racks is pretty impressive as well.
He's got his golem back. They're feeling good.
Well,
Prophet is hitting bottom.
And he is kind of getting it. He might even get the kill as well. TP back to base. Okay, Pexia will live, but yeah, Mastery will be able to get the trade by the looks of it. It's going to be the one set of racks for the two, though. The Chicken Fighters will also quickly clean up on the top.
They need to be careful of charges here, though. It's a 4v5.
So they get Aqua back to safety. MNT's going to charge over towards Branya. They've got the follow Light Strike range, the ult for the Spirit Breaker. They've taken him out. BKB out in time. Shibe turns with the Roar. See if they can chase down the Beastmaster as well. They can. Caught in the Sprout. CHILLAX. They get both Shibe and Baranya. They did lose, of course, the mid racks and the top melee racks. A bit of a trade was made down bottom by Mastery. Couldn't quite get the range racks, but of course that will be soon to fall. And he got the one that counts. He got the melee racks on the bottom. So, yeah, you know, CHILLAX still finding something despite the fact that they had to sort of play through that whole 90 seconds there without their Drow. Getting some sort of trade, but obviously still hurts.
Yeah, I think Chicken Fighters are pretty happy with the total outcome of that, taking up the 2 Raxes when they were in a situation where they're getting pushed with Aegis. But giving up those 2 core kills on the back end definitely hurts.
CHILLAX have to be careful here. Another failed push. Definitely cost them significantly. I mean, they still have the protection of the tier 1 and the tier 2 on that bottom lane, at least.
I think this is where you actually chill.
But if you're CHILLAX?
Yes.
Yep.
I think this is where you have the better map control. You have better ways to play it. You want to play for this next Roche. I don't think you can just force the high ground that easily anymore. You really need this Aegis on the Drow. And I also think you want to get to your next set of item timings in this game. I think Drow really wants her next item. This Scotty's super big. ups her tank ability. It also ups her ability to kite Jug or these units in the fight. And I don't think you should be afraid of getting outscaled in this game because Chicken Fighters had to devote a lot to just maintain this early game aggression. So as long as you don't get caught out here, I think you're pretty happy. It's just about avoiding these ganks, which MNT is doing a great job.
Yeah, holding good position on the high ground.
I mean, this Rax bottom plus Furion is always going to shove the side lanes in, right? So you can always force Chicken Fighters back to base here, or put them in a spot where they have to take this Roche engagement in a really bad position. I think this is what you always want to abuse with Furion lineups. You never want to just give them an even 5-on-5 where they don't lose something in return.
Branya will head back to deal with this. As soon as they do and show their retreat, CHILLAX, they'll look to try and hit with the smoke.
Blink got cancelled by the Furion ult.
Jibbe managed to get knocked back into the silence of Masteries. Jibbe, he's out. They've got the creep wave moving in on mid. See Aqua actually jump forward. He's going to go for this with the Swiss Slash into the Omni. Cataclysm not really going to hit at all. And Omni Slash is going to leave Aqua pretty deep, but he's got the Blade Fury to rely on to try and get out there, but he's been caught in the Sprout, and the damage, the physical is cutting him down hard. Aqua into the trees will be able to get the blink off. That's a little close there, but Aqua is able to make it out to the high ground. And now no Omni Slash. CHILLAX might see what they can do with this 100 seconds where Aqua is going to be without one of his greater offensive potentials. I say that though, Aqua still going to go for it with the Blade Fury and the Blink and with the backup of the Inch Swell. It's kind of working. Was it enough to kill Lodi though? Lodi's going to live it. Aqua, he's going to use the Swiss Slash to get him back up to the high ground, trying to back off with the Manta style as well, but he's so low, the Sprout will catch him. A Cookie gets him just over to safety in time. Some risky plays here from Aqua, nearly costing him his life, but the team able to bail him back out. They are holding and they're keeping their Jug alive, but only just.
Smoking up really fast. They're salving this Jug. They know they want to be able to get on the map, contest this next Roche. Getting the kills before that spawns is going to be the way to do it. I cannot believe Jug lived twice there. I thought for sure he was dead in those sprouts.
It was looking pretty hairy there.
So they found Lina though.
They did. MTD was trying for the TP out, but they have the vision on this area. Still got the movement speed though, MTD, so.
What happened to the gem in that fight? The Breaker had one. Is it just on the ground? It's just on the ground. So nobody picked it up. Furion TP's on it. Oh, he has 2 now.
Easy.
Well, they'd add the gem there.
Yeah.
If only.
I mean, it happens. It happens. Gem hits the floor, you don't notice. You don't keep track of it. And we'll see here, both of us, well, at least one of Aqua's escapes. As that looked pretty grim for him there, but able to make it out. And here again, incredibly low on the HP. Lovely little bounce there from Error and his Cookie. Getting him out of the reach of the rest of CHILLAX.
That was actually the Cookie heal that probably saved him there.
I think he might have died without that. Right? Absolutely, yeah.
That's why you should always take that talent.
Yes.
And by that, I mean, you should think about it, but you know, It looks really good there.
I mean, sort of just, it makes sense, right? You know, 200 heal compared to 75 damage, you know, it's a bigger number. It's profit, it's a bigger number. Yeah, you've got to think about the net change between your team's HP and their team's HP.
I mean, do you like damage or do you like cookies?
Yeah, cookies are pretty good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Take the cookie every time.
Still an 8k lead here for CHILLAX, but not quite, even though, you know, they tried their best down that top push, able to really reach the high ground. We've seen those big tier 4 items come out now into play. Some lovely ones being grabbed. And as I think, as you said, you know, for both teams now, it's going to all be around this next Roche. It's the point that the next Roshan could decide this game. It's going to be incredibly important.
Yep, this is where you want to start pushing the vision advantage, push the lanes, so you try and force a reaction. Again, I don't think CHILLAX should just accept some 5-on-5 straight engagement without Radiant's base being hit in some lane or other, giving them some form of information, right? And for Chicken Fighters, it's all about setting the map up so that they can smoke and try and get a good wrap. Because getting the fight where they can take it from behind or from a side is super valuable to them. We saw it earlier in this game. Anytime they can jump the Lina or this Beast can get a good roar on a target, you have to be able to take the fight that way because its buybacks are going to come out almost no matter what, right? Dire's going to think about this Roche fight. They're going to think about the buyback on the Furion. Drow having buyback to this outpost. Lina can buyback and bots back in. So it's not as simple as, oh, we jumped the Lina and she's dead and now we get a 5-on-4. She might have buyback and you have to be able to take the fight after that. So you have to be able to play together, get a good angle, and ideally fight on your vision. Place an ob for the fight. Getting these lanes in is the step one to do that. So they got bottom in a decent amount, and now they can try and take this flank fight, which is on a dire outpost. That is the scary part.
Yeah, these sort of second lives effectively have to be taken into account. Chicken fighters and
they're pinging the throne though. I like this move. Force them back.
Yeah.
Don't run into their vision.
You know that they're trying to look for that play around Roche.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a base that's got to be defended, and it will work.
This is really nice if they can find the kills on the backside and not get flanked in the process. Roche just spawned, so. But now we're talking about if you have to take a fight into buybacks, one way to eliminate that advantage is you force TPs outright. Drow has no TP now, so if she dies in the fight, it takes her a way longer amount of time to get back to there, and it gives you a huge window. So that little move could pay off huge dividends right here.
And now it's CHILLAX that's got to be very careful about how they approach the Roche, with chicken fighters being where they are around this outpost on the high ground. They'll look to take that outpost back, try and remove that ability for CHILLAX to re-enter the area with a second life if they do start to get some kills, chicken fighters.
I mean, CHILLAX is getting outmaneuvered here in the last minute or two. They've given up a lot of Roche control. They gave up their TPs, they gave up their outposts, gave up their hills in terms of their wards. Chicken fighters should feel pretty good with what they just gained. Now it's just a question of can they use it? And does Jug want to try and force the Roche? He's going to keep cutting mid, which is pretty nice. He just has to think about these invis charges. Maybe he's just too scared of the invis charge.
MNT just toying with Aqua, knows not to commit.
We see the beast creep bottom trying to deal with this lane. This is just the really annoying part. This is where I think you should almost force the Roche.
They popped the drums there, but again, getting sort of cold feet at the last moment. Now losing their buildings, top lane, that tower. I'll get taken down by the Treants.
I mean, you're on a timer to some degree here. I guess this beast creep just dealing with bottom super well. Better than I expected. So their clock isn't that bad, but here goes the Roche force.
And it's going down quickly. It's going down very, very quickly and far too fast for CHILLAX to even turn up. Chicken fighters, they get the Roche, Aegis cheese. Aghanim's going to be taking the way of Era by the looks of it. Of course, their main two cores already with the Ag secured, so now Era's going to have that extra save. And they're all out as well. They get away with it completely clean there, chicken fighters.
That was a really nice sequence of 2 to 3 minutes. They outmaneuvered them super hard, got all the vision control, got the outpost control, got better positioning around the pit, and then just forced it with Jug, a hero who takes it insanely fast at no cost of his own with that healing ward, right?
Chicken fighters are absolutely playing to win here in these last moments. It's looking pretty solid. Aqua's hit the 25. He's going to be holding on to the Aegis and the cheese. Lincoln's done on Baranya.
I wonder if the Snapags is better than Grimags, but it might just be easier reliability in a sense. We'll see if he can actually hit anything. There's definitely a lot of summons in the fight that he can use, right?
Oh, look at this, they're going to send him straight in. Look at they found in the river. They found Pleb in the river. And the Axe from the Snapfire sending that Jug straight in onto Pleb. Pleb's able to get up to the high ground. Will survive for now. Mastery goes for the TP out. The Cataclysm, not enough damage to kill him. CHILLAX able to disengage for the most part. MTD's still been caught in the river. Mastery's able to get over to the back lines, take out Pexa, but Pexa's in with the buyback. Cookie forward over on towards MTD. That's going to be MTD going down. Over on the high ground, Shibek having to deal with MNC and Lodin. He's going to die. MNC also able to get away before he was able to catch him, but Baranya has got the line onto Lodin. Lodin going for the TP out, but again, another great cookie from Era to stop to the TP escape. Sets up a second pick here for Chicken Fighters now. 2 dead on CHILLAX. Chicken Fighters, they've got their eyes on the bottom. They still need to bring the creep wave all the way around if they want to try and challenge the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, they can backdoor tier 1. Be pretty happy with that. But I guess they proved me wrong, yet again. This gobble up can do a lot of work in terms of sending your Jug in when he has the Aegis. He's not too afraid. He's not afraid of just getting gusted and bursted, and he doesn't have the second life or something crazy like that. But we were talking about gap close mechanism. You're playing for 3 ranged cores.
Yep.
That's one way to close the gap.
It really is. Get that Jug straight into the face of the Drow Ranger. And Pleb is not going to have a fun time, especially with Aqua being as huge as he is right now.
One thing he actually has to think about, though, is you throw this Jug in super deep. Does he have the detection to actually stick on a target? This Drow has a Shadow Blade. Lina has a Shadow Blade. There's a Glimmer Cape on Chen. These are the things that are pretty annoying. Shadow Blade on Spirit Breaker.
That's true,
he doesn't
yeah.
want to carry detection, right? Because he's max slotted. He's going to Omni-Slash some target. The guy goes invis. Now he feels kind of bad. He's isolated. This can be the downside of you know, a super gap close like this in terms of these late game situations where these carries don't want to be carrying the dust or a gem on one of these slots, right? So he kind of needs his team with him to actually consistently output the damage because there's just too much invis. Way too annoying.
Talk about annoying here for Chicken Fighters. Mastery continues to cut the creep wave. They will get the tier 2 out of this, so the last set of racks now exposed inside the base of CHILLAX.
And CHILLAX still has both gems. And they're actually playing with both. This Furion's carrying one and Spirit Breaker's carrying one. So one, it helps kill the Hawks versus Beast, so they don't take fights on too bad a vision. But there's also the gem that Radiant doesn't have to buy for a while. And like I said, basically 4 interactions of invis. It becomes really annoying to try and hit people.
Yeah, it's as you say, you know, it doesn't matter how much farm you have on this Jug if you can't actually hit its targets. But the question, of course, is, you know, how much is sort of just dodging fights going to do for CHILLAX in the long run? You know, is this sort of a ability to evade the moves of Chicken Fighters ever going to lead them to a chance of getting this game back under their controllers? Over the last few minutes or so, it has very much slipped into favor of Chicken Fighters. Now outside this final set at a tier 3 and racked. So what they can do to stop the push.
Just super hard to go high ground, though. You're playing versus triple range core Drow lineup that's just going to start blasting you every time you go high ground. It's still a lot of damage for Jug to deal with, even with the healing ward.
There we go, some trivia. Whilst we're a bit of peace, waiting for the next move to be made. What do you reckon, SVG? How much gold from the Treants?
Maybe 900? Actually, it's got to be way more than that, right? It's got to be like
what do you reckon?
1,800, 1,900.
Okay, I'll go with a modest 3,426.
Modest. Oh, I overshot. My 900 was pretty close.
Yeah, you should have 900.
Should have stuck with my gut.
I was a little bit off. Oh, Mastery.
Have to pop the BKB.
Yeah. Going for the wall control here as well, CHILLAX.
Aegis just ran out, so
yeah.
CHILLAX was waiting to try and take a fight. They have a really nice ward here. Sees everything.
Aqua's well being cautious about how he spends up. Making sure he has the money saved for buyback at this stage. It's hitting a bit of a stalemate. That's, you know, how does this sort of break? You know, who's... Is it just a case of a mistake being made? I mean, without the mistakes from CHILLAX, it's, as you said, very hard for Chicken Fighters to really get Aqua in on the front lines and get a kill.
I mean, it's just a question of if this Jug can find somebody on the map, or if this Breaker finds some lone target. But Chicken Fighters they're going to be super wary of just showing on lanes randomly, right? Because they're afraid of the Spirit Breaker charge. And Furion's, he's split pushing in an ultra safe manner. He's not even showing with his hero, because he just doesn't want to get picked off by some random Invis Invoker.
I mean, we see the Aqua, you know, jumps in, and he has to jump back out. They're going to have the charge coming in. Was able to get the Blade Fury off in time. Soulbind into the Phantom's Embrace. Kisses coming out as well. They may just have enough to kill Loading. They do. They get the chat. It's something, but of course Loading has the buyback ready. If it is even going to be forced out of him here, Chicken Fighters, can they really do anything with the Chen death? It's not really the biggest of openings. We will try. I mean, CHILLAX, they're still coming out aggressive despite being a man down.
Yeah, if they find the jump with this Furion Hex, they can kill any core.
In the mid, Jibbe.
That was a fast roar.
And he's going to open up with the roar, and Aqua just gets sent straight in there by Era with the axe. Aqua able to kill off MTD there, with Era delivering him right into the face of the Lina, and that'll do it. 2 more dead. Mastery's trying to take the attention off elsewhere towards this mid lane. But that is quite the timer now, with no MNT, no MTD for over a minute.
Not sure what happened there. Did the LSA miss?
Oh, I might be able to catch the replay. It did look like a bit of an awkward attempt to start the fight from MTD as he was just sort of standing in the river.
Yeah, there's no way B should get his roar off in that scenario. He's playing versus a Furion Hex who can TP on him. They have all the invis. They have, I mean, I guess he ran over a sentry, but...
We'll see it here. Look, he jumps forward.
Blinked.
And yeah, he gets it off at the same time. The roar was already off before the light strike landed in top lane. Mastery's going to go for the TP out with the BKB, he can't do so. Again, I mean, we're seeing Era once more. He had a great game in game 1 with the Rubik. This time round with this Axe, he has been, you know, at a point of the game where without this Axe on the Snapfire, I don't know if they'd be getting even half of these kills that they're actually able to find at this sort of slowed down pace.
Definitely helps. Jug's already back on this Chen. He still has a cheese on him as well, so he's kind of working with 2 lives.
Yeah, and he's definitely got the money to get that Swift Blink done and still have the buyback now, holding on to 7,400 gold.
Also, you know, this Invoker, he just really likes detection. They didn't have it for a lot of the game, so now he's rocking. You know, he doesn't need a drum for that second gem. He's just carrying it. They also have a 3rd gem on the Snap, so
they actually, oh my goodness. Yeah, they are done with these silver edges on CHILLAX. Jibei is in. Look at the Soulbind. He's going to put the roar down onto the leaders. Cataclysm comes crashing down, but they turn around with the Hex. Gus pushing them back for now, but they've lost MNT. Down for 100. No buyback. It's left now just to the 3 of them to try and hold this. It's not going to be easy. They have cut the creeps, so backdoor protection kicking in. But Aqua hits pretty hard. It's going to hit hard enough to force them to use the fortification despite having that backdoor protection. Straight over towards the mid. They've got the creep wave coming in. Mastery tries to come over in time to cut it, but Chicken Fighters are there. And we'll be able to keep some of the creeps alive here. One of the creeps at least stepping up, so the backdoor protection will get taken down. See if Aqua's able to get back in. He certainly is. Buffed up by the Alacrities, ready to go to work here on the bottom racks. What could CHILLAX do about this? TP back from Mastery, ready to join the defense, but the melee racks, it's already gone. Chicken Fighters, they clear out another objective.
I think you have to try and stun this Jug when he runs up and just burst him off it.
Here we go, Aqua. Straight in and ready, rock and roll in with the Omni Slash. The roar comes out to the 2 of them, comboed with the Soulbind. There'll be a buyback from Pleb, but that's Mastery down without buyback for 2 minutes. MTD as well also going down. He does have buyback available, but if they want to try and hold, it's going to be without their Nature's Prophet, and Mastery's been such a key part of trying to keep the game going with the split push pressure. Tier 4s have gone down. I'll see Chicken Fighters hold back a little bit, but one more swing and a punch could end this game here in favor of Chicken Fighters. Jump forward onto loading, they'll get the Chen. Spinning over the Blade Fury, they're looking over towards the 2 cores as Pleb will try and get his way back towards the base, but the damage is enough. No, Pleb is actually able to live in time with the Laguna Blade. They've killed Shibei, they're looking for Aqua, but they're buying back, they're looking to try and end it, but Pleb picks up another instant triple kill. Light Strike right out to the 2 of them, the charge comes in, they're able to take down Aqua. Aqua's buying back the try to end the game, they will be able to do so. GG is called.